What's going on, guys? My name is Peter Cattani and I'm here to tell you about the new deck that I made. It's with the new draft box leader, Goten. Really interesting leader. He has an ability that's like no other, and on both sides his ability is once per game. Really interesting and sad at the same time. Instead of banning SS3, they can literally make its backside once per game and it'll be totally fine because they're already doing it with a bunch of leaders anyway. So but yeah, with the draft box we got 4 new leaders. We got Krillin, Goten, Vegeta, and who's the last one? Oh, Goku himself, because you know Goku comes in every set. And yeah, since this was a yellow leader, I was super interested to try it out because if you guys don't know, my favorite color is yellow in this game. In real life, it's like brown, as weird as that is. You know, every girl I talk to, and they're like, "What's your favorite color?" Like brown. Always a response. But in this game, yellow. So let me show you my deck real quick, alright? Alright guys, so this is the leader, Goten. What's really special about him, if anything, one, he's a yellow leader, so you can use Shugesh. Also, he's a Goku Lineage, which, while you see the deck, this is a Goku Lineage deck, and you're gonna see cards that's like, if your leader is a Goku Lineage, what Bardock should have been. But he's Goku Lineage with an interesting ability. His awakening ability sucks. We're gonna get into that in a second. And then the flip side is just gorgeous. You know, whenever it's come these draft packs leaders, their foiling is always beautiful. So I'm a huge fan of the foils. But real quick, so his effect is auto. When this attacks a leader, draw a card. These abilities are so strong because you don't even have to worry about awakening. You automatically, from the turn 1, you're able to draw cards and get advantage on your opponent. So you don't have to rush to awaken to have that ability. His active main, choose a card from your life, add it to your hand. Awesome, great start already, perfect. Not like the Broly promo that we got in the movies, which is pick a life and put it in the drop area. So sad. But this goes to your hand. And then choose up to 1 yellow extra card from your deck and add it to your hand. Negate the skill for the duration of the game. The duration of the game. If there was any complaints I have, is it has to be a yellow event card. If they just let you grab any event card, it'll be super interesting, so I can grab objection if I need it. That's like what I really wanted. But since it's only yellow, yellow still has some fantastic event cards, but I just wanted more. I always want a little bit more. Then his awaken. Let's read his awaken real quick. If your life's at 4 or less, choose 1 of your energy and switch to active mode. Flip this card over. Why 1? Why 1? That makes no sense. Because some of the leaders, there's another one that has that ability. Krillin. Krillin says choose 1 of your energy, put it in active. But Krillin draws 2 cards. That guy's absurd. This guy is not as broken as Krillin. Why is he getting punished with the awaken ability? I don't know what bend I saw in this guy, but they felt like they had to put the only 1 active mode. The other 2, Vegeta and Goku, I believe puts 2 active, and that's huge. 1 you gotta like toy around with. Then you got boom, the flip side, gorgeous. His effect is when he attacks, draw a card. Awesome, like all leaders. It doesn't even have to swing at a leader. It can swing at battle cards, so you'll draw a card either way. And then his auto, at the beginning of your opponent's main phase. So after they draw a card in their main phase, you can choose 1 card from your hand, place it in the drop area. If you do, this card gets 5,000 for the duration of the turn. Negate this skill for the duration of the game. So it's Senzu Beans by himself, but only once per game. So you gotta choose when it's huge, when it's important. But to give yourself a 20k leader for 1 whole turn, it's solid. If you are running Senzu Bean, which we're not, we're a mono blue deck for a reason. A mono yellow deck, sorry guys. We're a mono yellow deck, so we didn't put any blue. We already have Bean effect, so the matches that is important, we'll use it skillfully. But other than that, that's the perfect word to use. Both these effects have to be used skillfully. This one, searching the event card you want, you have to determine on the event which event is gonna be great for you and grab that. And then the whole Senzu Bean effect, you gotta just determine what turn is gonna be huge. The only time that it becomes a little questionable when it comes testing is, let's say I'm on this side, I'm getting swung at, all right, cool, he's putting a lot of pressure on me. I awaken, only flip 1, but you know, we were never awakening on your opponent's turn because that 1 could be huge. But then you can't use this skill because it has to be in the beginning of your opponent's main phase. So if you awaken on your opponent's turn, it's too late to use this skill. This has to be already face up on your opponent's turn. So keep that in mind when you're playing this deck. But yeah, let's show you the rest of the deck. Alright, so we're going to start with the events, the cards that you can search. Since this is a Goku Lineage deck, we're playing Force Successor of Hope. This card's just great in all aspects because this whole deck is Goku Lineage, so when you're searching for cards, you'll search for very key cards. You don't want to blow out on these cards early game where it's like, oh, I have this, I have 3 in hand, let me search 3 cards automatically. No, you got to determine the situations. You never know what your opponent's going to be playing against you, and what game state it is. I find that like holding 1, so whenever I need to do a swap, I can get the card that I really want at that moment by having this. You do want to play something turn 1. It's either Bardock or Grandpa. That if I don't have this in hand, at least Goten can search for it, and get the whole swap mechanic going just by his own effect. So that's something really good to have, and what makes this leader very interesting. So for this, of course. Then you're going to play, which I guess people would say the best negate in the game. 4 Flying Nimbus. Against aggro, it hurts. It hurts a little bit because you're a swap mechanic. You don't want to give up too much. That this puts like 1/2 swap on check to a point. Like they can't swing at you 7 times. First attack you negate, then you deal with a leader, then you deal with 1 more attack, and that's fine. And then you get your turn to do something. But very important. And again, the leader can grab this, which there's 4 of. He should never waste his effect to grab this one, but you never know what the situation's coming. Then for the 1-ofs, I got 1 Crusher Ball. I'm playing 1-ofs because the leader can grab any situation I need, so I'm playing 1 Crusher Ball because the Migra is going around, and if they don't main deck minus kill zone, this could be huge. So if I know I'm going against Hercule and I know their main kill card is going to be the Migra, that's when I put this down. I'm playing 1 Instant Transmission. We are a Goku Lineage leader, so this works for us. We can play this for free by just taking a life. We already run 4 Flying Nimbus for negating attack, but just that extra negate, just that 1 more, oh, he's tap out, he got nothing, bam. Love it. I should get a foil, that's my mistake. And then 1 Battering Laser, also probably for the Hercule matchup because Button's that good and we have a way to just search it when we need it. So depending on what's on our hand, we'll use his ability for sure at least once per game. We're never going to skip out on it, but Battering Laser can be one of those crucial cards in the game towards mid and late when you go in for something. He can be huge. So we're definitely playing just 1. So these are the 3 1-ofs that I play. The rest is going to be battle cards. Alright, so for 1-ofs, or for 1-drops, that's what we gotta use. We're playing 2 Grandpas. It's adopted father, son, Gohan, but we're gonna call him Grandpa because that's just the best way to like determine him. 2 of him, and then 4 Bardock. Which I want to state right now, this ratio doesn't seem too right to me while testing. Bardock is cute, it's great, it's awesome, but not fully needed. When you have a leader that can swing and draw a card automatically, what are you awakening for? What's the point? Or a swap deck, we're not aggroing our opponent. We're not the mechanic of 1/2 swap. So me having 4 doesn't seem right. I always find that this one was just better all around, where I don't have to lose life. I can still play a 2-drop for free, and my opponent has to try to kill me. I'm not killing myself. So whenever this ratio happens, this is really nice towards mid-late game when my life's at like 3. And I can play a Bardock, bring something else, Bardock again, go down to 1, but I see 2 extra cards. That's when it is nice. But other than that, I find myself always trying to dig for this card or use Successor Hope to grab this because I don't want to hurt myself yet. My leader draws anyway, so I don't see the rush. So right now, this is the ratio. I'm probably going to toy around and probably do a 3-3 lineup because I find Grandpa just being that much better. But this is the 1-drops. Now for 2-drops, for super combos, we're testing out 2 Shugesh. Goku Lineage is all Saiyans, so this card is really effective. If your opponent's not playing Corona? No, that's a drink. The 1-drop that stops Shugesh. There you go, boom. Sorry guys, I'm not great with names. But if they're not playing it game 1, Shugesh can be huge. They're definitely gonna side it because every side deck should have it, to be honest. Even if it's not seeing any play, they should have it. I'm just being greedy by playing 2 because the combos you can do with it are just so big. And if they play it, at least it's a 10K for free. That's the way I see it. Very beneficial game 1. Our other two super combos is searchable. So it all depends on the game. I find that 2, at least game 1 is huge, but know your opponent's going to side and these cards are going to be irrelevant afterwards. But till then, I'm playing one of this guy. It's a Goku Lineage deck, and you want to have fun. You want to play as much Goku Lineage because we are playing the ultimate card, the one that checks the top 7, all different ones. We do run 5 8-drops. So this guy's ability can kick in. We also run the Bardock's that can make our life into 2 whenever the situation. So his ability, his permanent is if your life's at 2 or less, he gains swap 8 by paying 5 yellow. Pretty cool. It's interesting. So let's say you have 6 mana. 6 mana is not even enough. Let's see. Yeah, 6 mana is enough. Cool, because I was trying to remember how that worked. Let's say your life's at 2 and stuff. You literally pay 1 mana to bring this out. Bring this guy out. Cool. Now you're have 5 more energy left, so you can play. You're tapped out in the situation, but this is just one of those like, oh, end game, super cool to use situation. This is a very interesting deck, very techy, and just really fun to play. So I'm playing one of this guy. Then I'm only playing 2 Sun Gotens. Reason being is because, again, this is not an aggro deck, and some cards you do want to see. If your opponent's still at 10, this is still effective. And we're only running 2 because, again, the ultimate, we do want to see different cards of Goku Lineage. So most of the time, I'll never really go into this by turn 1 and 2. This is later on when we're digging for certain cards, but it's still a very effective card because you get to see the stuff that you want to see. You check top 3, you pick one of them, the other 2 go on the bottom. So big fan of this card. And the fact that we're not rushed is the only reason this is at 2. Next one is 2 of this guy. He's a 15k body that can swing at other 15ks. That's really the main thing about him. Then he has swap 3 for 2 yellow. The main thing about him is the swap part, that like if he had barrier, awesome, but the fact that we're not, he is at least able to swing on a free Gohan attacker. They have to waste a 5k. Cool, then pay 2 to bring this back to hand and bring out a new threat. Big fan of this card. And for our last 2-drop, it's a blocker barrier. Oh no, it's not even a blocker, it's a barrier, sorry. It's swap 3 for 2 yellow, and he's barrier. So when you bring this out, let's say turn 1, your opponent can't do anything to it unless they're running Vados as a leader, because you know I always joke about Vados, but theoretically, it's a meta call, it's not bad. If they run Vados as leader to attack, or they have Jiren by turn 4 or anything, or by turn 2, because you're really bringing this out turn 1 and 2. And this gets your whole ride chain going up, because that's literally what swap is. It's a ride chain, you know, just riding all the way to the 8. So definitely really good because it's barrier. Next up is for 3-drops. We got this Goku that is a 3-drop that's swap 4 for 2 yellow. And also barrier. It's a 15k and it has barrier. The fact Goku Lineage, the swap deck is barrier. Basically, you want to be able to just keep riding the train, and as long as you do not see Jiren or something that attacks active mode, you should be okay. Your game plan is going to work. Whenever you bring this out, you do not want to swing with it right away. You want to swing the following turn where you're able to attack and then swap, because if you can't swap that turn, you don't want to waste the attack and then your opponent just target your swap card to start over your whole ride chain. They're going to swing at it. You have to waste cards to defend it. You don't want to do any of that. So literally, when you bring this out, just keep it like that. On the following turn, when you have energy to do this, you're going to attack. Cool. Unless it gets Mafuba or Pilaf. Pilaf works because Pilaf comes, gets rid of swap. Unless those 2 cards are not in your opponent's hand, he's going to swing for free. Awesome. And then swap 2, go away, hit and run. That's literally what the deck is. Hit and run. So 2 of him, 2 of this awesome Gohan. It doesn't have barrier, but it's swap 4 for 2 yellow, and then when he comes into play, you can KO a rested battle card your opponent controls. Super good. So with Shugesh, a really cool thing is just like the Goku, Kid Goku combo with Shugesh and Kid Goku, you can do the same with this Gohan. It's a 15k, so you can do even more. So without even like wasting any energy, I could swing with leader. Let's say it's awakened by that because you have 4 or less, right? Swing with leader, draw a card, awesome. Then Shugesh, to bring Gohan out, kill something, cool. They have to waste cards or take a life, awesome. And then with Gohan, I'm able to swing at leader for 15, because 15 is a solid number, right? Unless he beans. And then pay 2 yellow or bring out a 4-drop. And that's all I did. I played 2 yellow or bring out a 4-drop, didn't waste anything else. So he's just really good, especially just with defense. If your opponent's swinging out and combos everything on a battle card that's not barrier, you Shugesh Gohan, pop it, and the combo's ended. Really good, just in case you're living on a rock and you do not know that rule, or you're new. Shugesh was a huge problem back then, but now there's a card that puts him on check. So very good. Good job, man. Like, high five. Next card is... Justin Rio showed me this card. He did a one-of in his first place in Atlanta. It's a one-of Bardock. When you swing, you get to choose to either draw a card or give it double strike. So you swing, you wait for your opponent's response. If he's negating, cool, I'm just gonna draw a card. If he doesn't negate, I can choose to draw a card or give it double strike to put some pressure. But it's definitely just a one-of. It's a Goku Lineage card, so the 2-drop can just go into this automatically. You stop the whole swap thing, but now your opponent has to pay attention to this card. And early game, it's effective. If your opponent has no threats on the board yet to kill it, it's gonna get free cards. So I'm a fan of it. Next is your 2 other super combos. It's the only super combo in the game, from what I know, that's 15 that it can actually attack, right? Super cool. But what's funny is it has swap 5 for 3 yellow, right? The same card that's stopping Shugesh from bringing something out stops this swap ability, just in case you don't know that ruling, because it is a super combo that's bringing out a card. Even though it's bringing out a card through swap mechanic, if they play that 1-drop Canola, again, can't say it right, don't laugh, but if they play it and you actually bring out Pan, swing, and try to use the swap ability, her swap ability doesn't work. Just know that for like future reference. But it is a super combo that you can use with Goku Lineage leaders, and luckily our Goten is a Goku Lineage. So it's super combo and it's searchable by Successor of Hope. That's another really big deal. The other 4-drop we're running is, of course, 2 Gohans. When he comes out through the swap mechanic, so when a 3 goes into this, 3 goes into 4, and you bring this out, you get to draw 2 cards automatically. So huge. Drawing cards is always beneficial, and he has barrier. If there's anything that's a sell pitch about him, he has barrier. We like barrier. And he has swap 5 for 3 yellow. You can't complain about this card. There's only 2 because with this deck, you're able to search out stuff. You have the Gotens, you have the Successor of Hope, and once you have one on the field, it's barrier. So if you don't deal with Jiren, he'll run and hide anyways. Next turn, he's gonna swing 20k and then run, bring out a 5-drop, and then this stays in your hand, so your 3-drops can bring them back out. That's the only reason we're running these weird numbers of 2s. And the end game is pretty much another reason why I'm playing 2s. And for theoretically, the last 4-drop is one of this guy, Son Goku. He has swap 5 for 3 yellow. He's barrier, so automatically we're a big fan. And then his ability is at the end of the turn, you can put him to active mode. So this is the only swap guy that on your turn, without fully tapping out, you can bring this guy out and swing at something, not worry about the results. Like your opponent has to waste a card to protect or not. And then the end of the turn, you put him in active mode, which is huge because, again, other than Jiren, he's not gonna die because barrier is a ridiculous mechanic. So big fan of this card, but like I want to draw 2 cards and not swing, then just bring this out and swing. It's situational, but it's just a one-of. Now we're going into 5-drops, but like in between. It's 5-drop and a 4-drop. We're playing 2 of this Goku. It's the Dash Pack Goku. He's 25 double strike. Doesn't have barrier or anything, but he has a really interesting ability that if your life's 3 or less, and I want to make sure it's less. Yeah, if your life is 3 or less, he costs 1 less. So instead of being a 5-drop, he goes into a 4-drop. So your 3s can actually skip over and just bring out this guy. So like, let's say you have Gohan on board and you use the swap mechanic to bring out a 4 and your life is at 3 or less, you can actually bring this guy out for 4 because he is a 4 in your hand and pop something. But the problem is he doesn't have any swap there, or like swap in the text, so he's not searchable by Successor of Hope, and he stops the whole chain. Like how you're going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way to 8, he stops it. You just put on track here. But he's a 25k that if he also kills a rested unit, he kills anything. But if he kills a rested unit, you get to draw a card. So it's situational, but it is effective. Like, there's some times where you're like, I really need to kill something right now. Cool. So another cool play you can do is Shugesh, bring this guy out, pop something for 2, bring out this guy, pop something else. You can control board like that, and that's something that's really good. And it's yellow leader, so you always want to have control. So I'm playing 2 of that. He doesn't have swap nor barrier, so they can kill him. So a really cool tech that I do play is just one of this dude. He's super interesting because no one plays him. Let's just put that out there. No one plays him, and he's a one-off searchable by Successor or Hope because he has a swap mechanic and he's a 5-drop. He has barrier and he's 27, such an awkward number, but 27, but let's just pretend he's 25 because that's just the truth. Activate skill when one of your Goku lineage with energy cost 5 or more is removed from the battle area from your opponent's skill. If you have no other battle cards, you may play this card from your hand. It's a one-of because it's supposed to combo with this guy. Let's say you bring this out for 4, awesome, whatever the case is, no barrier, you killed something. Your opponent removes this because they just don't want to deal with a threat on the board, and it's a double strike of 20k, they remove it. Then you're able to bring this guy out for free from your hand. If you have no other battle cards, he comes out for free, and he swap 8 for 4 yellow. It's really interesting. Your opponent doesn't see it coming because no one plays it. After this video, maybe they'll be like, are you playing the Peter tech? But this is just a Peter tech. I'm all about techs, and I've been a fan of this because some situation I'll make sure I won't charge this because I want to pull off this combo. Pull out this combo is like, bam, I got this. That 8 drop's coming out. So the whole point of the deck is to bring out the 8 drops, by the way. Alright, so next 5 drop is 2 of this big monkey. It's a pretty good card. It has swap 8 for 4 yellows, awesome. He has an ability that helps you awaken, which this deck doesn't have a problem at all because you have his ability, so theoretically from 7 you go to 8, from 8 you go to 7, and then you have Bardock's. But in certain situations where you're like, oh, I want to do more, you bring this out, and he has an ability, active main once per turn. So once per turn, choose 1 life added to your hand and put this card to active. Cool. If you have 2 or less cards in your life, give it triple strike. So it's a way to game finish. Just in case you need triple strike, it puts another threat on the board. It's Goku Lineage, and the ultimate card is the reason why, once we get to that, why I run so many different cards and why it's like 2 of a bunch of stuff. But it's just another threat, and we don't have to get to the 8 drop. We can just go to the 5 drop and have triple strike. So pretty interesting card. The last 5 drop we do run is this Goku. Swap 8 for 4 yellows, awesome. He has barrier. That's the sell pitch of anything. The fact that he has barrier. He's a double strike. And what's really good about this one is when you play this card, if your leader card is Goku Lineage, which our leader is, doesn't matter what side, he's Goku Lineage, choose one of your opponent's battle card and KO it. This card was actually being used a lot in other Goku Lineage decks that didn't have Goku's Lineage as a leader. But now you actually use the effect beneficial, and it's barrier. So 25 barrier, you can even swing with it and not really worry about your opponent attacking it because you get to defend really easy against this, and they're not going to pop it. And then we go into the big boys, the 8 drops. I don't have the SVRs, forgive me, but we go into this big monster, and this is pretty much the point of the deck, is this guy, which he has deflect, so there's no Crusher Ball in this. There's no Cold Bloodlust. Those are the only 2 cards I understand, or I believe deflects hits. He has triple strike, dual attack, so he gets to swing twice. When you play this card with swap, choose up to a total of 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to active. So if they have any blockers, you can put them to active. If they have 2 to 3 energies open, you just put them all rest so he can't activate negates or sensu beans or anything like that. It's literally supposed to be like a game finisher once he comes out. You're literally riding the chain from 1, 2, 3, 4, and by turn 5 you can bring this out. You tap out if you do that, but most of the time you can win because he's 35 triple strike. This guy is going in, and everyone's trying to go to awaken. They're like, oh my god, I gotta awaken, and you get to punish them. As long as they're at 3, this guy will kill. So we play 4 of this guy. He's our boss. But then we got boss, and then we got like a god mode. We got the ultimate. This card is just beautiful. The fact that like I'm playing a Goku Lineage deck, I'm like, I gotta make sure I can use his effect. His ability is super interesting, which he's 8. He's ultimate triple strike. When this card attacks, look at the top 7 cards from top of your deck. Choose any number of Goku Lineage among them as you like and combo them. Then shuffle your deck. If 5 or more cards in the combo, when the skill, okay, hold on, let me make sure I read this not like a 3rd grade level. If 5 or more of the cards you combo with using this skill have different names, choose 2 of your opponent's life and place them in drop area. Really interesting ability. The reason why you see so many 2-0s, 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of this, is because when I do this ability and look at the top 7, I'm trying to use his ability where I'm able to hit 7 different cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 6, 7. There's so many different cards in the deck. It's very diverse, very situational, very techy, that's the word we're going to use, that this ability can go in. It's also a 40k triple strike, so he's going in, and if they don't negate his attack, he's swinging. He doesn't have deflect, which is super weird because the other one does. This other 8-drop does, and this is ultimate. It should be ultimate deflect because if this gets crushable, I'm gonna be sad. But other than that, I literally wanted to make a deck with this dude, and I finally have a leader where I felt safe, where I'm like, dude, this is gonna work. Let's make a run. So I'm playing this guy as my ultimate card because you can only have one ultimate in the deck. So we're not playing Demigra because we don't have enough black cards. We're not playing anything else. This is our ultimate card. And when we pull it off, we just feel good. And every deck should have a black card. It doesn't matter what it is. Most of the time, it's always 2 fu. It's draw power. This deck doesn't have a real problem with draw power, but it's that extra push too, because it's 25k. It draws 2. There's not much that I need to talk about it. It's just probably the strongest black card there is. We would have played Mira. Problem is our grave doesn't get huge like that, and we don't play Champa to give a double strike, so Mira's out of the question. Mass Saiyan's the tech card, or meta call, where you kill Announcer, some cards for Hercule and stuff, but like when it all comes together, this guy's just a beast. Draws 2 cards, swing at a 15k leader. They have to waste 2 cards to protect it. So you draw 2 cards, your opponent wastes 2 cards. It's usually the situation what happens with him. But just really strong, and since we have no other black cards and we can load up the grave enough by protecting, we can see the play on this. I wanted to choose something different. I want to be, you know, fancy and be like, oh, I'm playing this black card. But there was nothing good. That's just the truth. He was the best one. He was the best one for the situation. And for what this deck does, you just want to see an extra few cards, and there's no reason any deck shouldn't run black. The other one that I was considering was the Trunks that can grab a card from Warp, add it to your hand, because that and Shugesh is so strong. But the moment they play the 1-drop and Shugesh becomes irrelevant, that Trunks becomes irrelevant. And he also costs 2, this one only costs 1, so it was different. The other one that was cool was the Toa that gives it 5k and makes your opponent discard, but no other card discards. So they're literally pitching a useless card from their hand, and it gave this 5k, so it wasn't good enough. So yeah, when it came, I definitely wanted to put a black card because every deck should run Overwhelm if you can, or at least 1 or 2, and mine were the 2 foods. Alright guys, so that was my deck. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to show something different, something new to play. If you were kind of confused or didn't know what route to go with the draft leaders, this was my take on it. I just wanted to make a Goku Lineage deck for like the longest time, and something that was competitive. But most of the time when I read something, it's like, if your leader's Goku Lineage, and I'm like, I don't want to play the monkey one, I don't care for the double strike, crit, stuff like this. This was techie, where it was like, oh, I can play 1-ofs, and if you guys know me, I love 1-ofs. So that's why I wanted to try it out. We're gonna try to make a video for each draft box leader and see our best take we can with it. Do I find this deck competitive? No, I don't. Do I find this deck fun? Yes, extremely. Tonight for locals, PBG has locals on Thursdays. Tonight for the locals, I'm gonna be playing this leader. Next guy I'm probably gonna try is Baby, if Marcel hasn't touched that one yet, because we are doing a battle series, so this is my secret tech. He hasn't seen my deck yet. He just knows he can't play this one. I don't know which one he's playing, and Krillin is forbidden, because Krillin's just really good, period. Blue leader draws 2 cards pretty much when it swings. It has everything going for it. That one is competitive. Doesn't matter how you build it, it's going to be competitive. Baby looks very interesting, but not enough. It's one of those. Like, he has a lot of things good going for him, but his ability seems lackluster. You get to pick off McNuggets, but there are a lot of times you don't care to. That's just the truth of it. And the green Goku looks super interesting, but your opponent can play around that skill that if he has 4 more cards, it can't be negated and has quad strike. Yay! But what if he doesn't have 4 more? Then what? And it's like he wants to play something new, just combo out one of the ones in the board, play something new, and only have 3. So you can be cool in tech like Mecha Frieza, put something down, it's like, oh, he has 4 now, I have quad strike, awesome. Or the promo Frieza, which puts 2 from his hand to the field. Oh, now it's quad strike, swing. You can do cool things like that, but we're testing out lists. Till then. But thank you for joining me, guys. For regionals, I still do not know what to play. I'm working on it with the regionals in Orlando, Florida. If you go and whatever the case happens, it's Orlando. There's Disney, there's Universal. It's nothing but good times over there. So you can go play cards, and it's an event that you can actually bring your girlfriend and go to Disney. That's why day 1 I'm probably not going to play, but day 2 for that $2,000 cash tournament, ooh, I got some bills that I need to pay, so I gotta like play like one of the tier decks. But till then, I hope to see everyone soon. Until next time, take care, guys.